when the home of Shomrei Torah across the street literally was full on a regular basis, so that from a practical point of view, we needed to expand, and we recognized how privileged we were that the location of Shomrei Torah is just about midpoint in the Fairlawn community. So we wanted to have the expanded shul as close to the location as to where we were, and God was good to us, and the two homes across the street became available.
And we tried to buy all the houses around the corner, but nobody would sell other than these two. So in 1978, we started the fundraising with a cocktail hour, and we started working on the plans. The architect was hired, and we started construction in early 1980 and completed the project in, I think, March 1981. We had the dedication of the burying of the Shemos at the bottom of the lower floor, which is directly under the Aron. The first set of laminated trusses fell off the truck, so they had to do it again. And when they put up the laminated trusses, the building took shape. Until that time, it was nothing but a cement pad.
I thought that's how we were able to afford the building, is that the trusses, as Arthur said, fell off the truck. And usually when things fall off the truck, you get it for nothing. But I don't know if that really
They weren't
was the
usable.
case.
That was the only problem.
When the time came to embark upon the project, I'll never forget, we had a meeting in the shul across the street, and there were those who were very practical in their thinking and said that 60 families could not undertake such a significant burden and mission. I'll never forget, Sophie Heltzman, Oleh HaShalom, stood up. She was a Holocaust survivor with incredible faith. And she turned around and she looked at everybody and said, and I could hear her voice, "What's the matter with you? Don't you realize the incredible opportunity that you have? Don't you realize how you are in such a very special place at the right time?" Her impassioned plea was so inspiring and moved us that it was, after that night, not a question, just simply, we're going forward.
Our central focus of the beautification was the Aron. So Jeffrey said in that time, what he did is he incorporated the laminated trusses as they went up into the design, which was the Aseres HaDibros. And then we went from there to the stained glass windows, the Shulchan, the Bima, the Ner Tamid, and finally to the Holocaust Memorial in the back of the shul.
Jeff Packard is an incredible spirit. He has such creativity in terms of taking that which he personally finds exciting and literally bringing it into fruition.
We started with the windows. They are 12 windows, separate windows, and I arranged them according to their birth in Torah. All the symbols were from the Torah, and each one I used with the rabbi. Various inspirations. And
the ingenious idea of having both the Amud, where the Shliach Tzibor, the Chazan, stands, having the ability to curve over and serve as my pulpit. So I share it with the Chazan. And for me, that is truly personally inspiring. Secondly, the privilege of facing the congregation and specifically facing the Holocaust Memorial. The incredible letters of Ani Ma'amin floating in such a way that one could actually read the words, and to recognize that through this terrible tragedy came such magnificent faith. I believe this memorial is one of its kind and is always especially moving.
I also made the mosaic that was outside of the mikveh, so that was another way of saying how things were beautiful if you think of it that way.
We had promised the women that we would open the mikveh by a certain date, and of course it was all dependent upon how the rain would fall to fill up the amounts of rain that we needed with the tap water. And of course, as luck would have it, it was a dry spell for a couple of weeks. Our kids were doing rain dances all over the house. Hashem, we need the rain, we need the rain. And the week before the mikveh was supposed to open, it rained like for 4 days and nights, that we literally, with Jeffrey Packard, our tears and the rainwater and the tap water filled the mikveh. We actually watched the water come down from the ceiling into the pipe and fill up the mikveh. And Hashem answered our prayers, and we did open the mikveh when we said we would.
The Leah Sutcliffe Nursery School of Shomrei Torah started in the early 1990s. There was a demand for a nursery school under Orthodox auspices in the area, which there really weren't any. We feel that what we do is really important, that we're here for children to feel a part of the community from the time they're 2 years old, and they come here and it's their school shul, and they see their parents come here to daven, they come here to daven, they come here to be in their classroom. They're on a first name basis with the rabbi who's their friend, but who they also look to as someone who they respect. Shomrei Torah Nursery School is known throughout the community as the place of excellence. Our standard of education and the care we give to the children is recognized and something that wants to be copied throughout the community.
One of the things we wanted to talk about was the 10 weddings, the big event. The community had been growing for years, and this was pulling everybody together towards a common event that everybody was getting excited about. We welcomed them not just on that day in terms of the 10 weddings, but we as a community brought our new friends from the Soviet Union very literally into the homes of their various people. But to see the community open up this warmly and to really give them themselves it was an exciting period.
The rabbi called me one night and said, we have to go to a meeting by the Federation. So we went to a meeting in Avasachim across town where the Federation called all of the synagogues and shuls in Bergen County together. The Federation guy explained what the situation was and said, Bergen County now is accountable for, let's say, 20 families, and we need to find homes for them. They walked around the room and said, okay, tell me what you're going to do. So they went to this shul and they said, well, we have to talk to the board. And they went to that shul and they said, well, we have to talk to the president. And went to that shul and said, well, we don't know, we got to talk to the membership. And when they turned to us, Rabbi Yudin said, I'll take 2.
We met basically everyone, every member of the Shomrei Torah family. We were in each and every house for lunch, for dinner, for Shabbos meal. It was an amazing experience.
So the membership's role in the Gutman's absorption was fantastic. Every day we had something planned for them. Every day someone was either hosting them for a meal or taking Irene to school or taking them shopping or preparing a meal for them or teaching them English or teaching them how to play Monopoly. It was unbelievable. Every family drew together in Achdus and for a purpose to help this family. It was a very inspiring time for me.
Education, learning Lishma, as well as our Masorah were paramount to my father. He transmitted this to myself as well as to my family. With this in mind, we thought it would be fitting to dedicate the Fairlawn Beit Medrash in his memory. My father would have been proud to have attended Shiurim and to have learned in such a base Medrash.
So when we started Parent-Child Learning, I think we really didn't have any idea in terms of what sort of effect it was going to have, if the program was going to work, if 10 kids were going to come, if 20 kids were going to come. And thank God, we started 1 week, maybe 20, 25, and we thought that was going to be our estimate. Where we are now, where we average 40 to 50, sometimes to even 75 participants on a Saturday night, Motzei Shabbos. The PCL, Parent-Child Learning, just has a special draw. So much so that even if we go away for Shabbos, my kids assume that we're going to come back Saturday night for the Parent-Child Learning. Shimon always says to me, Abba, Saturday night, Motzei Shabbos, it's time to go to Parent-Child Learning. I'm like, Shimon, we're in Chicago. We're like 2 hours plane ride, 13-hour car drive. We're not going back. He's like, so we'll leave now. We'll get there tomorrow. I'm like, it's not going to be Shabbos anymore. Good, so we'll be early for next week. But thank God, the Parent-Child Learning program is really one of the highlights of not only my week, but I think everybody's in the community.
And in the junior congregation, we took what they learn in school, the davening that's very for the weekday davening, the weekday Shemona Esrei, the weekday Psukei de Zimra, and one of the things that we did, when does anyone ever learn the Shabbos Psukei de Zimra? So we focus very much on getting the kids to know the Shabbos Psukei de Zimra. I myself certainly didn't really know the Shabbos Psukei de Zimra until I was probably 19. I didn't even realize that the kids, that they know it by heart. They know the Shabbos Psukei de Zimra, certain portions of it by heart. I'm very impressed, and now we're going even to explain what the words mean. So that's just one aspect of something that we've done with the growth of the shul.
So when we first came to the community, we were embraced with a tremendous amount of warmth and openness and love. I think an atmosphere that is established by the Yudins and really embraced by the community. And since then, it's been pretty incredible. And we've seen only growth. We've seen growth in numbers. We've seen growth in programs, a tremendous amount of growth in programs. And most impressively, and I think the most inspiring to us, is growth in the people.
Spiritual growth.
Yeah. Spiritual growth.
I am just personally, from day to day, from teaching Torah Tuesday and being challenged with all the questions and the back and forth, celebrating its 11th year, it's so exciting. And then going from that to a parak in the park on Shabbos. This past Shabbos, I think we had about 40 kids to sit around the table, have some snacks, make some brachas, and speak Divrei Torah together. And to have then adults come afterwards, to have people, at the Kiddush, and have people moving in and thank God, working together with Chevy and the rabbi. You speak to this person, did you get in touch with that person? The hospitality committee constantly working to have, this past Shabbos we hosted 3 people. Every Shabbos we're hosting new couples into the community. Shomrei Torah is a very exciting place to be.
Often when new members in the community move in, sometimes you hear them discuss, it's a little hard to make friends. I always say, come to sisterhood events, you'll make friends, you'll get involved. That's how I made all of my close friends in town, and your relationships grow, and you become a more active member, and it enriches your life. Working with the sisterhood and being involved in the sisterhood is my little way of giving back to all the chesed that I've received from the community.
It's been an honor for us to be part of this unbelievable shul. From the day we came, we were inspired by the 17-member founding families. We were inspired by the people who literally swept the floors and put the windows up and worked so hard that every brick of this shul should come and be in its right place. But most of all, it was being with people who were just so special in every way, being part of their lives, watching them at their simchas, living through their challenges with them, and seeing most of them be able to live above whatever challenges Hashem sent to them. For us, knowing each member family has been an integral part of our rabbinic career. We've worked closest with the leaders of the community as far as on a day-to-day basis with the presidents of the shul, the presidents of the sisterhood, and the presidents of the men's club. Tonight, we honor all of these people, And I can honestly say that the Rabbi and I have learned so much from each and every one of you. It has been an honor and a pleasure for us to work together with you to try to build the best community that we possibly could have. We thank you all for this opportunity, and we look forward in good health to see tremendous nachas from all of our families, from our families of 20 and 30 and 40 years, and our families of 2 and 3 years, and the new ones that are moving in each and every week. Phelan's a great place, and we have tremendous room in our hearts to make you all part of this wonderful Shomrei Torah family.